People don't respect you the way you want to because you don't respect yourself first. And don't get me wrong, it's not about blaming yourself. It's not your all fault that people are treating you a certain way. But instead of asking yourself all the time why everyone is treating you so poorly, why people are crossing your boundaries, why they are not giving you respect that you deserve, instead of it, ask yourself, why do you allow people to treat you this way? Why do you allow others to constantly cross your boundaries, to not give you respect you deserve, to not give you all of this love and attention that you are seeking, and to treating like you need to prove yourself all over again? Stop asking yourself about people motivation to behave certain way, to treat you certain way. You with a good pure heart will never understand intentions of people who don't treat others with the right respect, with all the love and all of the attention and affection. However, this is not something you have to figure out. You don't have to fix others. The only person you have to fix in this lifetime is you. Hello, it is Marta. Welcome you guys back to my YouTube channel and my podcast. If you're new here, go and make sure to subscribe because we yap here all about confidence and becoming this best version of yourself, who set boundaries, who show up for yourself, who get the respect that you desire, and you purely deserve it just for being you. Respect is not something you have to work for. Respect at your workplace, with your partner, with your friends, whatever social situation it is something you deserve just for being human, just for being yourself. It is not something that you have to work for. So from the beginning, let's delay this concept of proving yourself and gaining respect, but I don't know, working how hard. Respect is something that should be given for you because this is something we do for others. We respect each other. We love each other. However, there is such a difficulty with understanding when to let go someone, when to stand up for yourself and tell them, hey, this is not the way I want to be treated. When to, instead of pleasing others and thinking about how bad they might feel if you're gonna speak up for yourself, if you're gonna express those emotions, if you're gonna just tell them directly, I don't wish that you treat myself this way. I would like that you change this tone of voice. We won't continue this conversation if you're gonna scream. We will only go back to this constructive discussion if you lower your voice and treat me with the right respect. You don't do those things because you care so much about all of those people in your life. You care so much about your job, you want to stand up for yourself and you want to speak up to your boss. You care so much about your family, you simply don't want to hurt them. And you feel like they've been programmed to behave this way whole life of theirs. So it's so hard for them to change, to treat you differently. But how do you know? How little you actually know if you are never even trying to go for it? If you never even try to change something, to have those difficult conversations? How do you want to build those meaningful, deep relationships if you are afraid of speaking your truth? If you are afraid of speaking your true voice and expressing your emotions and how you truly feel? What you are doing is not only disfavor for yourself of surrendering all of your emotions back into yourself and hurting yourself to the extreme mentally, but also later physically, because everything, all the suppressed emotions have impact, such a negative impact also on your physical health, because you put everything back to yourself like a boomerang and you are basically blaming and punishing yourself from your own feelings instead of expressing them and telling them out loud. Not only you're hurting this way yourself, but also you are actually doing harm for others. You do harm for all of those close relationships or professional relationships you care so deeply about because you keep them on very surface level. And you might be like, what? I'm trying my best to have those relationships so deep and so amazing, but you don't, because you are not true to yourself. If you are not giving yourself enough love, enough affection, you cannot give more to others. You can't pour from the empty glass. And the same happens with your self-respect and your emotions. If you don't respect yourself enough to basically just give yourself space to feel and express the way you feel, nobody else gonna ever give it to you. The same comes with love. If you are seeking some values in your partners, if you're seeking some values so much in your friendships or being validated at work, it means you have to give it to yourself first. It means all this validation has to come from within first. If you want so much to overachieve every single KPI at work and prove yourself and finally have this vocal or written validation that yes, you are the best, you can actually do it, you're the superstar, you're employee of the month, it means you have to give all of this validation to yourself. That's why you're seeking it everywhere around. If you seek this love, if you seek this affection, if you seek this relationship that people gonna give you, I don't know how much understanding, how many compliments, start speaking this way to yourself today. Go to the mirror every single day, before you even start your day, before even you do your full glam makeup. When you brush your teeth, when you look messy, when you do your skincare, start speaking to yourself with all the love, with all the respect. Because your self-belief, the way you love yourself, is a mirror of all of the other relationships. If you don't respect yourself first, if you don't love yourself first, nobody else gonna see all of those special unique qualities that surely you have within you. But how do you want others to see them? How do you want others to appreciate you, to love you so much if you don't love and appreciate yourself first? How do you want people not to cross boundaries if you're all the time letting them to cross your own boundaries? And you let them joke about yourself because you want to be so cool and light and just have distance for yourself. You want to be too serious and boring. What is boring in having your self-respect? Tell me, what is so boring with just not agreeing for jokes that are below the level of respect you agree for? What is so funny about joking about yourself? Let's joke about something else. There are just so many reasons to laugh and have a good time than putting all of this joke on yourself. This is so pathological, because if you all the time have to keep conversations with this level of like sarcasm or cynical kind of jokes, it means you can't express your emotions fully again, because it means either you or another person using this cynicism and sarcasm all the time, they are just not able to tell you they like you. They are just not able to tell you I like you directly, I appreciate you, I respect you. So they're gonna go and play with all of those weird jokes to make you feel uncomfortable, and you're gonna all the time keep it cool. I was like, oh yes, of course, it's sign of love, it's sign of respect, it's all cool. It doesn't have to be cool. If something is not cool for you, you can just simply go and say it out loud. You will never ever build your confidence if you won't build your self-respect. And you are building self-respect by trusting yourself, that you always have your back, that you always gonna show up for yourself, that you won't anyone else cross the boundaries that are basically set there to never be crossed. If you trust yourself, if you know you will never allow anyone speak poorly to your face or in general about yourself, if you won't allow for jokes that are just making you uncomfortable, or it doesn't have to be joke, it can be some tone of voice, it can be whatever in their communication, in their behavior that you actually need to finally explain. You need to tell them what you feel. Nobody ever gonna know how you feel as well if you don't speak up for yourself. You expect your partner, you expect your friends, you expect this new guy you're dating to come to your brain and figure out what you are thinking just because you go silent. If they are disrespectful and you behave like you ignore it, they just gonna think you don't react at all. So they can go even harder on you. And that's why it never stops, because you just go silent. Because you just learned to not speak up for yourself, because you associated speaking your truth, opening your heart chakra and your throat chakra, you associated it with danger. Because one day maybe it almost saved your life, because not speaking your truth, not standing up for yourself, not standing your boundaries was so important. Maybe because your family didn't appreciate it. Maybe because there was some kind of even mental violence in your life that just didn't allow you to express yourself, but you don't have to do it anymore. It's safe now. You can be this version of yourself who speaks up, who is there for you. How do you want to trust yourself if you don't have your own back? Imagine if you have this best friend and you want to trust them, you want to believe them every single word, every single time. They're your bestie. And imagine how whenever you're not in the room, they will never have your back. They will never say like, oh no, but she's actually amazing. They will never speak highly about yourself. They will be just afraid. They will just go with the flow, whatever someone is saying. If they're gonna make a joke out of you, they're gonna be like, haha, yes, of course, whatever. And then they're gonna come back to you and act like they are still your best friend. Will you finally gonna be like, what the F you are actually doing? My best friend is someone who respects me, who always have my back, who I can trust, that even if I'm not in the room, they're gonna always stand up for me. They're gonna always respect me. They're gonna always speak highly about myself. So why the F you are not speaking highly about yourself first? So why you wouldn't stand up for yourself if you are in the same room with someone disrespecting you? You have your full right to stand up for yourself every single time. And this is the only way you're gonna build this confidence. This is the only way to build this self-respect. Is it uncomfortable? Hell yeah. Growth and confidence was never about being comfortable. It was always about doing this very hard work that kept you stuck in the past version of yourself. That's why they always say, your identity, your old self has to die before you in your full power will finally come to this world. Before you in your full power will finally do all of the things you've been talking about. And it's not only being consistent with showing up to the gym. Guess what? It's being consistent with the way you treat yourself, the way you speak about yourself, when everyone else is in the room, but also when you are alone. The way you talk to yourself, the inner dialogue that's going on and on non-stop in your head every single day, 95% of your thoughts, it's like your subconscious mind. You're basically running your life on the autopilot. If you're gonna keep entertain all of those negative thoughts, all of those negative self-beliefs, like how you're good, not good enough, how you don't look perfect today, how your skin is not glowing today, then this is exactly what your subconscious mind gonna always prove you right. Whatever you believe in, it becomes your reality, not only because it's law of manifestation, it's literally how your subconscious mind works. This is neuroscience. It's not in terms of you believe it or not. So if you're gonna keep this negative inner dialogue going on and on in your head every single day without even realizing it, this is all you're gonna attract. This is all you're gonna be. How do you imagine standing up ever for yourself if you are speaking about yourself negatively non-stop every single day? And you think it's being this amazing friend, if you are so good for others, if you always show up, if you always for them, but you're never for yourself, you don't express what you need actually from this friendship, from this situation, or you don't speak highly about yourself because you think confidence is being cocky and arrogant. So instead of saying, yes, I'm actually good at it. Yes, I can actually take this project because I have experience. Yes, of course. Oh, thank you. Whenever someone tells you compliment, instead of being like, oh no, I don't know how this makeup turned out so good. This is confidence. It is not arrogance. People told you it's arrogance because it's way easier to control you when you don't have your confidence, when you don't have this self-respect on such a high level. Of course, because it's easier. It's so comfortable for everyone around when you play it small, when you are not in your fullest potential. That's why we are brainwashed from such a young age to not be confident, to not give this self-respect, especially as a woman, to play it as a good girl. Always be nice, always smile, always be polite. Your main responsibility is to not hurt anyone else's feeling. Let's freaking cancel it right now. Your main responsibility in this lifetime is to step into your fullest potential, is to living to this version of yourself, to this desire that you have in your heart, to never ever again suppress your emotions. And it's not about going around and yapping like how you hate everyone right now. No, it's giving them respect as well, but it's giving yourself respect too. It's learning communication skills, how you can speak about the way you feel instead of non-stop yapping what someone done wrong. Speaking about your emotions and setting boundaries, it's not about blaming another person. It is about explaining how you feel. Actually, you don't set boundaries for others. You know what? You set all of those boundaries for you. So you know what boundaries are not crossable. And whenever someone crosses this boundary again and again and again, and you're thinking, but I've been already setting boundaries, I've been already on this journey of self-respect so much, so strong, I've been going on it fully, and they are still not respecting me enough, they are still crossing boundaries. I told them few times, I don't appreciate it, I wish they don't behave this way, I don't agree for that. Well, then leave. Then it's your time to freaking cut this toxic relationship, whatever it was, friendship, your even family member, your boyfriend situationship. If you communicated your boundaries, if you did it in respectful and direct way so many times and they keep crossing your boundaries, guess what? They gonna keep crossing your boundaries. Because the only way in this case then you gonna not allow them to cross those boundaries is to go F out of this relationship, go F out of this situation. Because you can't forever wait for people to change. Again, it's not about changing people at all. Building your respect is about you. It's not about anyone else. It's not about how you're gonna change others now and how you're gonna trick and manipulate them that they're gonna change. No, you are changing yourself. But guess what? When you put this self-respect, when you eliminate yourself from all of those situations or relationships that are not good for you, they don't serve you, they don't respect those boundaries that you set or needs that you verbalized, you will get this self-respect again from yourself because you trust yourself. You know, if someone didn't treat you right, you were not waiting once again for them to change. You just eliminated. You just quit. You just packed your shit and go. Because why would you be waiting for someone to change? Why would you love and respect someone else more than you love yourself? You can't love someone else more than you love yourself. So how do you imagine you're gonna respect someone else that much and put them so much on this pedestal? They are so important in your life that you're gonna resign from yourself. You're gonna kill your confidence, your authenticity, your self-belief, your everything. Never make someone resign from yourself. If someone costs you losing yourself, it's never worthy. The only worthy love and relationship and staying somewhere is that it gain in your life. And it doesn't mean all the relationships are always easy. No, but it means they always have to be respectful. And your self-respect starts with yourself. Always. Go and make sure to subscribe so you can stay tuned for all the other new episodes. Catch up on IG and TikTok. It is hello, it is Marta. And I see you in the next one. Bye.